Hi, everyone, and welcome to Satsang. Today, we are going to go over a process that was started by my great grandfather, Dr. Chaturbhuj Sahe ji. And we basically have this system that we do where we're meditating at its core, but we're also practicing joy, peace, happiness, and we're coming together as a family to practice this, which is something that's usually a solo journey. But in this meditation practice, we get to do it as a family. So I'm going to pass it over to my dad. He's going to talk about a topic today. We're going to go over the topic, then we're going to go into meditation, and then I will wrap up with another topic related to what my dad talks about. So, Dad, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thank you. And happy Saturday, everyone. Glad that we are here in Satsang. Satsang, by definition, is to be with Sat, which is transcendental energy. So, imbibing, embodying, receiving, storing, positive energy is the whole focus of satsang. I apologize if you are hearing any barking in the background. So today, I actually wanted to pick up a topic that I think maybe last year or year before I dwelled on a lot, which was what's the journey like? If you were to really follow the principles, the method, the instructions, and follow along the journey that satsang, as my grandfather, Chaturbhuj Sahaji, learned from his guru and packaged it in this approach. If we were to do this in the best possible way, what would that journey look like? So there is a 5-step process that Upanishads talk about. So it was a model that was, documented a while ago. So I had used that. But today, the whole goal of these workshops is to break it down so that we can relate with it, understand it, look at some of the nuances in ways in which, how do we, maybe understanding would help us implement it better. So the 5-step process, today I want to, simplify and talk it about in 3 steps, right? And interestingly, it's a logical step to what we have been recently talking about a lot, which is the monkey mind. And monkey mind, I think we all can relate with, mind being almost like a reservoir of thoughts. And these thoughts continually flip-flop. And it's like waves. There are, currents. There are, so mind continues to move from one thought to another in a way that it is almost opposite to peace and calm. One other characteristics, and I think that's where I'll spend some more time in the next few weeks and come back, is like, what are the characteristics of these 3 stages? So one, the monkey mind attracts negative energy. The ability to bring forth from within or from outside positive energy is a challenge. So when you are with the monkey mind, you're told, okay, we will do deep silent meditation for 20 minutes, sign off. But again, I mean, hand holding, and as Parul is saying, creating supportive environment and all that, it gets this going and then keeps it going. So where do we get to next? And that, let me just put it as, so from monkey mind, you go to concentrated mind. Now, what happens there? So concentrated mind, from these barrage of thoughts, you now have the ability to focus on one, or, so more focus, more concentration, and also the ability to hold positive energy. So your capacity to absorb, embody, and hold, so receive and store positive energy gets to the next level. Now, interestingly, I was also thinking about, like, how do you differentiate various meditation methods? Because there are plenty, actually hundreds. And if you count the variations, thousands. So the meditation that takes you from the monkey mind to concentrated mind could be termed as even as an activity. Even music can help you, chanting, mantras. So outer or physical activity can take you from monkey mind to concentrated. So if you are forced to repeat something over and over and over and over, and that would force your mind to concentrate. So from monkey mind to concentrated mind. And that even asanas and pranayams can help you to move the needle in that direction. But then when the real meditative methods like dharana, dhyana, and samadhi come into picture, you go beyond the concentrated mind to a third state, and let's just call it evolved mind, right? Where higher consciousness, higher awareness, and the ability to embody transcendental energy is like almost inherent capability. So not all, so one of the things that, we talk about in the overview of satsang, and Eddie refers to it as inner satsang versus outer satsang. So inner meditation versus outer meditation, or where meditation involves a physical activity versus a purely inner activity, which is almost like a, where mind is driving it rather than the physical activity. And that inner meditation, inner satsang, because satsangs, like when you do kirtans, it's an outer satsang. So it's a group activity, it's a group, prayer, group meditation. But if there is outer activity, that is more tuned to take your monkey mind to concentrated mind. But that in a deeper state, that activity itself in a much deeper state will take your concentrated mind to evolve. And that's where Guru Maharaj heavily focused on. And his view was that, yes, you should do prayers. Yes, you should do, things that will get you better focus, better concentration, which will help you make better decisions, etc. But then you have to continue that journey. You have to move the needle further towards this evolved higher consciousness state, where and I think in some ways, when you embody transcendental energy, you evolve to a higher state in the sense that you have to, until and unless you tackle your ego, you cannot, achieve that higher evolved state. So that's the interesting part, that, from monkey mind to concentrated mind, you have to get this ability to, concentrate on one thing for a long time. And if you go further deep into that concept, what even the scientists, this was studied, I think, in the early 1900s. And there was, I'm forgetting the name, but there was one research that was done that said that when you concentrate, your mind rests. When you're physically resting, your mind is not necessarily resting. So concentrated mind is where, calm, quiet, peace is actually, so resting of your mind is a concentrated state of mind. Now the neuro research is actually highlighting that. So when you meditate, when you say you are playing some music, when you go deep into it, and you heavily concentrated on it, that's when your brain scans show that your mind is rested, better rested. And when you go to the evolved state, it actually gets to a place where the thought waves reduce the effect to a point where you're moving towards thought-free state. And that, is way beyond concentrated. And that is where peace is at a level that you cannot fathom when you are, in the first state of monkey mind. So that's, we can, after the meditation, we can talk more about some of this, but let's practice what first takes you to a concentrated mind, the method and process that takes you to the first state fairly quickly, and then it takes you further. So pratyahar and dharana, which is limb 5 and 6 of the Ashtanga Yoga, described by Maharishi Patanjali. So inward orientation piece is inside focus and concentration on one thing with inward orientation will take you to the next level, which is deep and call it silent meditation, which then leads to higher consciousness. So first, when you do inward orientation and concentration, that's when you are trying and moving from monkey mind to the concentrated mind. And as you move further towards meditation, deep meditation, that then starts moving the needle towards evolved mind, towards higher consciousness and higher awareness. So, there are other 4 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga: asanas and pranayams, physical exercises, breathing exercises, and yam and niyam, which is the traits that you want to acquire and traits that you want to give up. So behavioral aspects. Guru Maharaj's view was that if you focus on the meditative aspects of Ashtanga Yoga, which is, these four limbs here, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, you will be able to, focus better on well-being in terms of asanas and pranayams, which is physical and toning your physical body and breathing, as well as toning your behavior, because with better state of mind, your behavior would definitely get affected positively. And as if you look into the new research on neuroplasticity, what it is saying is that it's very interesting. Your behavior can change your mind, and your, better state of mind will change your behavior. So it's very, very closely associated there. So, so satsang will definitively positively affect your behavior. So let's get into it. So for inward orientation, actually two, maybe three things are important. One is close your eyes lightly, so that sensory input, that distracts our mind is minimized. And then sit in a relaxed and still posture. Again, same goal, that we want to minimize the distractions for the mind, because every time the body moves, the mind moves with it. So we want to keep our eyes lightly closed, make sure, observe your body, that there is no, it's totally relaxed, and you can, in this posture, you can sit for, the period of meditation. Now, the concentration aspect, like manifestation, what you want to imagine, what you want to focus on, and that would be this transcendental energy in form of light that's right here, right now. Feel the presence, and that light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming the light. You are getting completely and totally immersed in it. So the source of this energy, this light, is of your choice. So far as right here, right now, in its conscious form. And that consciousness in form of this transcendental energy, in form of light, is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. Now, the third aspect of inward orientation is that your mind will wander away, would not want to continue to focus or observe this transcendental energy in form of light, that it's entering your heart and distributing throughout your body, because that's the only activity. If you call it activity, it's actually just observation. So mind will wander away onto other things that were happening before, after, or just some imaginations. And when that happens, when you become aware of that, you bring yourself back to this thought and this thought alone, that, transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, and in front of us, and that light is entering your heart, distributing throughout your body, and you're becoming one with this light. So we start with music, because that helps concentration. So you do mindfulness or mantras, chanting, anything else, any other meditations you can do before or after, and you will find that you are able to do them better. But during this time, focus on these instructions and follow them as far as you can. And so music will transition you in, then music fades away, and you go into deep, silent meditation. And that goes on for some time, and then we transition out with music. And this meditation, especially during the deep silent meditation part, takes you to evolved states. So let's start now. So happy Saturday, everyone. Glad we are here in Satsang. So Parul, are you there? Anyway, so couple of things were running in my head. Oh, Parul, yeah.
I think Juan just has to put my camera back on. But you can go ahead.
No, keep going.
Should I just do audio? Okay.
What happened to your camera?
It's controlled by someone else. Hold on.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I don't know. Okay, start.
It's all right. You can go ahead with the audio. Everybody else is, or
Yeah, I mean, I can just do audio today. That's fine.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so today we spoke about the journey from the lower mind to the higher mind. And Dad, you spoke about how we start with the monkey mind. We get to the concentrated mind. We kind of play in that realm of monkey mind to concentrated mind, monkey mind to concentrated mind. And we get those glimpses of peace. And then we get to the thought free, peaceful mind. That's the end goal. And so earlier this week, I was really thinking about what is the root of that, and the root of the monkey mind, right? And I felt that it was the ego, your identity, though, not just your ego, but the identity of who you are. And this idea actually came to me as I was passing by a car full of bumper stickers on the back and a custom license plate. And this custom license plate and all these bumper stickers were telling me who this person is. Someone I probably will never meet in my life was telling me they're an astronaut and they have, babies in the car and this is their political view and all of these things. And I just started thinking about, where does our identity begin? And it literally begins, as soon as we come out of the womb, as soon as we're here, we pop down here and boom, you're slapped with a label, your name. And from there, it's okay, I like this, I love that, I'm good at this, I'm bad at this. And the labels begin. And that's sort of your identity forming. And then as we get older, there's pressures and there's stress and there's all of these things, these anxieties, these worries, because we have an idea of who we are, of how people perceive us, of what we're supposed to achieve, of what's expected of us. And the cool part about meditation is that this is the place where we get to strip ourselves of all of that. The ego that's filled with labels and who we are and what we like and what we do and all these things. Of course, the monkey mind is going to be filled with all of that. And that's what we have to work through, is stripping that back, stripping that back, stripping that back. And then what are we left with? Energy. That phrase, we're energy in motion, right? So, it reminds us in a way like, wow, let's clear out the noise, the labels, the thoughts, the stress. Let's realize that when we're left with nothing, we're actually realizing who we are. That's where peace is found. And then we begin to realize also that we're connected into this collective consciousness as one. We're not actually nothing. We're actually part of this whole thing. We're part of everything. So it's a realization that, we're everything and nothing at the same time almost. Meditation can get really simple and then it can get also very complex, which, my dad speaks on all the time. But yeah, I was just thinking it's such a beautiful thing to sit down and kind of just sit in nothingness sometimes. That's it.
You're saying that's it. It's quite deep. I think, yeah, it's something to really think about. Wow. Think
Yeah,
about with an evolved mind.
but yeah, I mean, most of us, even myself, it's probably between like monkey mind and concentrated mind and going back and forth. Yeah. Now we can.
Yeah, it's when you were talking about this, it's like when I was talking about the book by Panditji Maharaj, Self-Realization, A Journey, the first chapter, he starts with, I mean, we need to look at who we are. And then he describes this situation where there are bubbles on top of the ocean. So now you need to figure out, you call yourself the bubble, which is obviously, temporary, and um, the bubbles kind of, dissolve into the ocean. So going from the label, which is the bubble state, to the unlabeled, which is, you are the ocean. So you want to look at yourself as the bubble versus you want to see, perceive yourself as the ocean, I think is the journey. So from going and feeling limited to the limitless, that's the journey. So interesting, yeah. So you cannot get to that higher state till you have resolved your identity. So I think very interesting thought there. So I'll open it up, audio, video, chat, however you want to interact. Feel free to comment, question, or share anything you'd like. So Geeta is asking, how do you handle the bubbles around you when you want to move into the ocean? So, see, I don't know why, while this whole thing we were discussing, and I was also thinking about one more thing. So you attract more negative energy at the lower level, then you increase your capacity and your ability to receive and hold positive energy at, say, the concentrated mind. And then you evolve into becoming the ocean, or you become the energy, you embody the energy at the higher level. So what becomes very important is that you safeguard your energy. So, and how do you do that? It becomes a very interesting question. So there were questions, there were several times the question is asked, like, where should I meditate? And what time should I meditate? And there have been studies and research on what times fit better or are better in the circadian rhythm, which will help better meditation. Guru Maharaj was of the opinion, by the way, that any time is good time. We are busy people, figure out, but still he would say, do it, twice a day. But I think where I'm going here is, if you actually decide that there is a specific place that you meditate, specific room, even specific, like asana or chair or couch or whatever, your cushion that you meditate on. I was just listening to something which said, do not share that with others. I'm like, huh? So why not? Because let's say if you had a clean yard, or let's say you actually cleaned your yard and somebody comes with a dump truck and dumps the whole thing there, how would you feel? So why would we allow that, right, in our meditation practice? everybody comes with their own energy. Um, when you're building it up, you have to safeguard it. But interestingly, so that's also a thought process. But when I look back, my father actually helped me to be extremely open-minded, and very, very, um, uh, I don't know what's the right word, but it's like he would say, yes, I'm a vegetarian, but I don't mind anybody sitting on my table and eating whatever they like. Like, that was a big statement, especially, I mean, he was, people remember him in ways that it just, you know, um, his state, he literally, like Guru Maharaj, he um, embodied the energy in ways that it was literally visible. I mean, as he was growing older, his that I can definitely say, his face, was glowing more and more. And I don't know, it was he did have eczema, but I don't know, eczema actually makes your skin darker most of the time. This was the other way around. Um, so coming back to, uh, while you want to conserve, hold, enhance your energy, but you figure out that process, but that should not make us, less open. We should become more, um, as we have been saying here, like more giving, more caring, more, more empathy, and so on and so forth. So, yes, do all of that, but the bubbles around us uh, need to be cared for, because every single mind around you, which may be the monkey mind, can evolve to an evolved state. That's the premise and the core tenet of satsang, that we all, nobody excluded. It's like nobody left behind policy in the school, right? So anyway, so Luz, I hope, Geeta, I answered. I think I went all around that question, but
Oh, no, that was really, I loved your answer, but it's a really good question. It is, yeah, it's sort of like a balance you have to strike between, moving into the ocean, but, taking care of the bubbles around you, but in a way that doesn't affect your journey into the ocean. Is a balance, a difficult balance to strike. But, the question was very, 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 a good question, and it was a great answer that you gave. Love it, love it. Just kind of appreciating different people's journeys and recognizing their potential. I also really liked what Parul was talking about with identity. I often think about, that was just food for thought. What a great, what a great kind of exposition, conversation she was sparking there. I often think about that. Yeah, identity is so artificial and temporary. It's so based on your, circumstances. It's circumstantial because, it made me think of this movie that was intriguing, very intriguing, and it just sort of like defied all concept of identity. It's called Still Alice, I think. It's called Still Alice. And it's about a woman who, like, she's sort of like a professional, she's a professional. She's like a professor. She lives, she has like a husband and 2 kids, doing very well in life. But she is diagnosed with early Alzheimer's. And, it begins to slowly take effect, and it completely changes her life. She is no longer that person, and so, but what remains is the energy, right? And so in the movie, her husband can't, deal with it. It's difficult for him to deal with. She, has to leave her job because she can't do it properly after a certain while. She's got 2 different daughters. One is sort of like an artist, and the other one is a lawyer. And the lawyer also, it's very hard for her to. So in the beginning, she connected with the lawyer really, really well. But towards the end, she connected with the artist because the artist could still see and perceive her energy. It was such a good movie, but it's a reminder of identity is not solid, can change. Are you guys still there? I have 5% on this iPad. I better switch to another technology. But anyway, so I was thinking about that, and I was also, just one other point I wanted to make was this, just in terms of how powerful meditation can be and attract, and how it definitely perceivably can attract positive energy. Earlier in the week, I wasn't feeling too great. And then on Thursday, I did an hour-long meditation with a friend, silent, and the next day was so much better. I mean, it's just amazing how that happens. The next day, my outlook was better. My interactions with people were better. It was joyful. So it's real. So anyway, those are the 2 thoughts I had.
Wow. So Steve, Onkar, or any other thoughts or comments before we wrap up? So hi, Jeff, Taru, Jennifer, Candice, Kamala, any other thoughts, questions, comments? All right, then. So thanks, Steve. I agree, a deep reflective session. So thank you all for being here. Be with love, light, and peace. Have a great week ahead, and let's come back in a group satsang again soon. So see ya. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaskar. Namaskar.
सादर प्रणाम भैया।
नमस्कार।